Think about the most charming person you've ever met. The one who made you feel like the most important person in a room, who remembered every little detail about you, who texted you good morning and called you just to hear your voice. Now imagine that same person, 6 months later, making you feel worthless. Crazy. Like everything that went wrong was somehow your fault. You're not imagining it. You're not too sensitive. You may have just encountered one of the most psychologically damaging personality types in existence. Today we're going to break down exactly how to spot a narcissist before they spot you. Narcissistic personality disorder, or NPD, affects a significant portion of the population, and most cases go completely undiagnosed. Why? Because narcissists are extraordinarily good at appearing normal. Healthy even. They often come across as confident, successful, and deeply caring, at least in the beginning. The damage they cause isn't immediate. It's slow, gradual, like a leak in the wall you don't notice until the whole foundation is rotting. So let's go through all 7 signs, and I want you to think of a specific person in your life as we go through each one. Sign 1. They make everything about themselves. You're sitting across from them at dinner. You just got some difficult news. Maybe you didn't get the job. Maybe a family member is sick. You start sharing, and within 60 seconds, sometimes less, the conversation has shifted. Now, they're talking about the time they didn't get a promotion 3 years ago, or how their family has it so much harder. This isn't just rudeness. It's a deep psychological pattern called conversational narcissism, a term coined by sociologist Charles Derber. It describes the habitual tendency to redirect attention back to oneself during any interaction. Normal people do this occasionally. We all do. The difference with a narcissist is that it's constant and it's compulsive. They physically cannot hold space for your emotions for more than a few seconds, because on a fundamental level, they don't believe your inner world is as real or as important as theirs. Here's a simple test. Next time you share something personal with this person, something that matters to you, start a mental timer. Count how many seconds pass before they make it about themselves. Most people who try this are genuinely shocked by the result, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. Sign 2. They never genuinely apologize. A narcissist apology is a masterpiece of language. It sounds like an apology. It has some of the right words. But if you listen carefully, something is always missing. I'm sorry you feel that way. Notice, they're apologizing for your feelings, not their actions. I'm sorry, but if you hadn't done X, I wouldn't have done Y. The apology comes with a condition that transfers blame back to you. Fine. I'm sorry. Are you happy now? The apology is performed with contempt, designed to make you feel guilty for needing it. A genuine apology has 3 components: acknowledgement of what was done, acceptance of responsibility, and a sincere commitment to change. Narcissists can sometimes fake the first, occasionally the second, but the third, the actual change, almost never happens, because real change requires admitting a fundamental flaw in themselves. And their entire psychological architecture is built to prevent exactly that. Psychologists call this ego protection. The narcissist's self-image is so fragile underneath the surface that a genuine apology would feel like complete psychological collapse. So instead, they reframe, deflect, and make you feel like the unreasonable one for asking. Sign 3. They use your insecurities as weapons. This is one of the most insidious signs because it starts with something that feels beautiful. Early in any relationship with a narcissist, they listen. really listen. They ask deep questions about your past, your fears, your wounds, your insecurities. They seem more emotionally present than anyone you've ever met. You feel seen, understood, safe. But here's what's actually happening. Psychologists who study narcissistic relationships have identified a pattern called vulnerability mining. The narcissist isn't collecting this information to connect with you. They're building a psychological profile, a map of your weak points, and that map stays inactive, sometimes for months. The relationship feels wonderful. You think you found something rare. Then the first major conflict happens, and suddenly, the things you told them in your most vulnerable moments are being used against you. Your fear of abandonment becomes a tool to control you. Your insecurity about your appearance becomes a casual comment designed to destabilize you. Your childhood trauma becomes ammunition in an argument. The cruelest part? You gave them the weapons yourself because you trusted them. And that trust, that completely reasonable human act of opening up, gets turned into a liability. Signs 4 and 5 are the ones most people completely miss because they actually feel incredible at first. And that's exactly what makes them so dangerous. Nobody, and I mean nobody, makes you feel more special than a narcissist in the early stages of a relationship. The attention is overwhelming. The compliments are constant. They text you throughout the day. They make grand gestures. They say things like, "I've never felt this way about anyone within weeks of meeting you." They make you feel like you were made for each other. This is called love bombing, and it is not accidental. It is a strategy. Here's the psychology behind it. Your brain has a reward system built around dopamine, the neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and anticipation. When someone showers you with affection and attention, your brain floods with dopamine. You become, in a very real neurological sense, addicted to that person. The narcissist, often unconsciously, understands this. They establish an incredibly high baseline of affection early on. They make that level of attention feel normal, expected, and then gradually they pull it back. Suddenly, they're less available. The compliments stop, the warmth disappears, and your brain, addicted to that original dopamine flood, goes into withdrawal. You find yourself doing anything to get back to that early feeling. Apologizing for things that aren't your fault. Shrinking yourself. Accepting behavior you would never have accepted before. The high was engineered. The withdrawal was planned. And by the time you realize it, the dependency is already built. Before we get to signs 5, 6, and 7, I want to address a question that comes up constantly. Can a narcissist actually change? The honest answer is rarely, and almost never without years of intensive therapy. Therapy, which most narcissists refuse because seeking help requires admitting vulnerability. Some researchers suggest that certain narcissistic traits can soften with age or after significant life events. But the core pattern, the inability to empathize, the need for control, the fragile ego, is deeply wired. This isn't said to make you feel hopeless. It's said to free you from the exhausting project of trying to fix someone who doesn't believe they're broken. Now, back to the signs. Sign 5. They gaslight your reality. That never happened. You're imagining things. You're too sensitive. You're crazy. Gaslighting, a term that comes from a 1944 film called Gaslight, is the systematic manipulation of someone into questioning their own memory, perception, and sanity. And narcissists are extraordinarily skilled at it. Here's why it works on a psychological level. Human memory is not a recording. It's reconstructive, meaning every time we recall something, we rebuild it slightly. This makes memory vulnerable to suggestion. When someone confidently and repeatedly contradicts your memory of events, your brain, especially under emotional stress, begins to doubt itself. This is amplified when the gaslighter is someone you love or trust, because your mind doesn't want to believe that someone close to you would deliberately distort reality. So instead of concluding that they're lying, you conclude that maybe you're wrong. Over time, this erodes your confidence in your own perceptions. You stop trusting your instincts. You start checking with the narcissist before forming opinions. You apologize reflexively, even when you've done nothing wrong. That complete dependency on their version of reality, that's the goal. Because a person who doesn't trust themselves is a person who can be controlled. Sign 6. They always have a victim narrative. Here's one of the great paradoxes of narcissism. Despite their grandiose self-image, narcissists almost always see themselves as victims. Every ex-partner was unstable or abusive. Every former friend betrayed them. Every boss they've ever had was incompetent or jealous. Every family member misunderstood them. Pay close attention to how someone talks about the people who've left their life. 1 or 2 difficult relationships, that's just life. But when every single person who's ever gotten close to them has somehow wronged them, that's a pattern. And patterns tell you something. This victim narrative serves 2 purposes. First, it generates your sympathy and protects them from scrutiny. After all, how can you question someone who's been through so much? Second, it functions as a subtle warning. It's telling you, this is what happens to people who cross me or leave me. This is the story that will be told about you too. And almost inevitably, if you stay long enough, it will be. Sign 7. They punish you with silence. When a narcissist can't control you with anger, criticism, or manipulation, they reach for their most powerful tool, disappearance. The silent treatment. No responses to messages. Cold one-word answers. A complete withdrawal of presence and warmth. Most people experience this as unbearable. And that's the entire point. The silent treatment isn't passive aggression. It's a calculated power move that exploits a fundamental human need, the need for connection and resolution. When someone we care about goes silent, our nervous system reads it as a threat. Anxiety spikes. We become desperate for reconnection. So we reach out first. We apologize, even when we did nothing wrong. We de-escalate. We make ourselves smaller. And the moment we do that, the narcissist has confirmed something crucial to themselves, that they control the emotional temperature of the relationship, that they can make you come back. There's a term for this cycle in psychology, intermittent reinforcement. The unpredictable alternation between warmth and coldness creates a stronger psychological bond than consistent affection ever could. It's the same mechanism that makes gambling addictive. You never know when the warmth is coming back, so you keep trying. 7 signs. Each one on its own might seem explainable. A bad day, a communication style, a quirk. But together, as a consistent pattern, they form something much more serious. Here's what I want you to take away from this. Recognizing narcissistic behavior is not about diagnosing people or playing armchair psychologist. It's about one thing: protecting your own mental health and your own sense of reality. Because the most dangerous thing about narcissists isn't any single behavior. It's the cumulative effect. The slow erosion of your self-trust, your confidence, your sense of what's real. If any of these signs felt uncomfortably familiar, trust that feeling. Your instincts are working. The hard part isn't recognizing it intellectually. The hard part is accepting it emotionally, especially when you still care about the person. And if you're in that position right now, know this: the confusion you feel isn't weakness. It's the predictable result of a very specific kind of psychological manipulation. It's not a reflection of your intelligence or your worth. It's a reflection of how sophisticated these patterns actually are. In the next video, we're going to go deeper, specifically into why certain personality types are more vulnerable to narcissists and what that says about your own psychology. That video is right here. And if this one helped you see something more clearly, subscribe, because this is exactly what this channel is built for.